Thank you for spending another midweek moment with the Wisconsin property taxpayers. I'm Paul Rozeski. Today is Wednesday, the 29th of April, 2026. Thanks for being here. Before we get into some headlines, let's look to the week ahead. Let's start with something cool in Wisconsin. If you're looking to get a little culture, A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder is opening in La Crosse, and Hairspray is playing in Fort Atkinson. If you want something a little bit lighter, you can also go to the Badgerland Comedy Festival in Janesville. And if you're going a completely different direction, this Saturday is National Beer Pong Day and National Craft Brewing Day. However you decide to celebrate, please celebrate responsibly. Looking at some headlines, we are going to look at a federal lawsuit. We're going to look at a state lawsuit. We're going to touch on the Wisconsin Supreme Court for a couple of stories, and then head on over to the You Can't Make This Stuff Up file. So without further ado, let's jump into some news together. And let's start by looking at the mess that is online gambling in Wisconsin. This past legislative session, a bill passed that allowed the idea of online gambling to happen. They still have to hash out all the details, so I don't know that that's happening anytime soon. Meanwhile, Attorney General Josh Kaul sued some of the prediction markets like Kalshi and Polymarket, saying that they are allowing online sports betting, and that's illegal in Wisconsin. Well, no sooner did that happen than the federal government sued the state of Wisconsin, saying, hey, state of Wisconsin, your lawsuit is essentially looking to regulate a industry that you don't have any business sticking your nose into. So, cease and desist, back off, Scotties. So, it's only gotten messier, and we'll have to see where this one ends up playing out. In other news, we will stick with looking at the legal system, and we'll stick with another messy topic here in Wisconsin, gerrymandering and legislative maps. So, there is a lawsuit that says a 3-judge panel should look at challenging the state's congressional maps and rewriting them. A first 3-judge panel threw out the lawsuit. A second 3-judge panel earlier this week also threw out the lawsuit. Hopefully we can last another maybe couple of years until 2030, when they should actually be redrawn again anyways. But I wouldn't count on it, because Law Forward, the folks that are bringing the lawsuit, said that they will appeal the decision to the Wisconsin Supreme Court. Oh, yay. In other news, we will stay focused on the Wisconsin Supreme Court. Yes, we just had a spring election, and it seems like local clerks barely had enough time to turn off their vote counting machines when people are already saying that they are running for the next election. So far, for the Wisconsin Supreme Court, we have 2 Democrats that have thrown their hat into the proverbial ring. Right after the election, Judge Lindsey Burnett wanted to get a jump on the name recognition train. She announced she was entering the race, and presumed candidate Pedro Colon, who used to be a state representative, announced that he will also be running for the Wisconsin Supreme Court. Lindsey Burnett, a female judge in a lower court. Pedro Colon is a former Democratic state representative. Both of those things have been a winning formula for previous Democrats, and I think it'll be interesting to see how many more people jump into the race for the Democrats, just because with some relatively comfortable margins of victory in the past couple of Supreme Court elections, I would have to guess there are plenty of folks that are plenty interested in riding this wave of momentum into a 6-year job. In other news, I saw this article, and I'd have to look. I think it was written by Captain Obvious, but it needs to be said. Name of the article is The Case for Pothole Politics in Local Government, and I'm glad somebody is saying what they're saying. The subheadline said, "It's about competence. To build residents' trust, cities need to focus on delivering core services efficiently, setting measurable standards, and meeting them consistently." I couldn't have said it any better. I have nothing to add. Quite frankly, people don't typically ask for much, and this seems like a reasonable expectation. In other news, we're gonna dip into the "you can't make this stuff up" file. First, you can't make this stuff up. This is a story written by someone in New York for a United Kingdom newspaper, The Independent, and it's a story about Wisconsin that is getting almost no run. So, Dateline, Appleton, Wisconsin, we go to the Outagamie County Recycling and Solid Waste Facility. They announced that the speed limit inside their facility would now be 17.3 miles per hour. Yes, they have a decimal point in their speed limit. According to their social media post, it's something to make you look twice and, most importantly, get your attention so that way we're not driving on autopilot. And finally, since we talked so much about the legal system today, I will leave you with a quote from French economist Frédéric Bastiat, who said, "When law and morality contradict each other, the citizen has the cruel alternative of either losing his moral sense or losing his respect for the law." Have a great second half of your weekend as always. Thanks for listening. The Wisconsin Property Taxpayers Inc. is a nonpartisan membership organization consisting of thousands of small business, farm, and homeowner members in every Cinco de Mayo celebrating corner of the state. Founded in 1985, the organization is committed to providing its members with up-to-date information, legislative advocacy, and exclusive cost-saving benefits. Find out how to join at WPTOnline.org/join.